everyone, welcome to Simplified by Singham. Welcome back to our Python for Beginners series. Today we are going to do something super fun and practical. We are going to take numbers from the user and print their squares. Squaring numbers is a great way to practice loops, user input, and calculations in Python. Let's jump right in. So, our flowchart breaks down the program like this. First, we ask the user how many numbers they want to square, and let's call this n. And then we ask the user to input n numbers. First, how many numbers, and then you ask all the numbers, n numbers, one by one. And for each number user entered, we calculate its square by just using this formula, which is I into I, number into number. And we print the square in a neat format. It's like telling Python, hey Python, I have some numbers for you, show me their squares. Simple and straightforward. Let's turn that flowchart into a real Python code. Okay, as usual, get user input and equal to integer. We need input in integers. Input, enter how many numbers you want. Okay. And then you will create a list called numbers. And then for every loop, you ask the user, enter the number. So for I in range of 1, comma, n plus 1, you will create one more variable called num, and you just ask the user input. I'm using f strings here. Enter number I. And then you will add that into the list by using numbers.append. We already learned about lists. We know how to use this append. So I'm just using it. And then you print the squares of entered numbers. So print the squares of entered numbers. You don't need space here. So here we loop to print the squares. For num in numbers, print f num into 2 square 2 equal to num into num. And yeah, that's it. As simple as that. So let's break it down line by line. Here we are taking user input. So this asks the user how many numbers they want to enter. And we created an empty list to store the user's numbers here. And the first step is to loop for I in range of 1, comma n plus 1. Why I am starting with 1 here? Because usually range method starts with 0 to n, right? But here you are showing the user enter number 1, enter number 2. You cannot say that enter number 0, right? User will be like, why it is starting from 0. Of course, we are the programmers. We know that it starts from 0, but why user want to know? So to make things easier for user, we make it 1. So the range actually starts from 1 to n plus 1. And that's it. Obviously, here you are incrementing by 1, then even you have to do the same thing so that it can maintain the number of loops, balance the number of loops. So here you are asking number, enter first number, enter second number for every loop. So this is what it is all about. And now every time you're taking that input, you're adding that into this empty list by using this append method. I hope you guys already have learned about lists. If not, I have already made a video on lists as well. You can go through lists and its methods. Have a good practice and then you can come back and start working on this exercise. So for every loop, you are adding this number. Okay, let's see until this one. For example, you want two squares of a number. For I in range of 1 comma 2. Okay, 1 comma n plus 1. So 1 comma 2 plus 1. That means this will be 3, not 2. So 1 comma 3. For I in range of 1 comma 3, the range starts from 1 till 3. So initially I value is 1. Okay, let's keep 1 here. And number input, enter number 1. So this will be the output. And then user will add some number here, maybe for example 2. Now the list will get updated with 2 at first using this append method. Okay, that means the list will get updated with 2. And again, now the loop goes here. Now I value becomes 2. And again, now it will ask enter number I. What is the value of I? 2. So enter number 2. For example, maybe 3 this time. And numbers dot append of num. So what is this num? Is nothing but this value that user gave. So now the list will be updated to 3. Okay. And now again I value goes here and now I value becomes 3. For I in range of 1 comma 3. So is I in range of 3? No, it should be less than 3, right? So it will come out of the loop and it will take two numbers from the user. And now it shows this output, the squares of entered numbers. And now let's go through this logic. So now the numbers list have 2 and 3. For num in numbers, num is nothing but first it will point to 2 and then it will point to 3 in the next loop, in the upcoming loop. So initially the num value is 2 and you're just showing it to user that the num square equal to the simple logic num into num. 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3. For squares, that is what we do. So that is the logic I wrote. Okay. So here the output will be first, this value will be 2 into 2 is nothing but 4. And then now the loop jumps to the next number, which is nothing but 3 from the numbers. And 3 square equal to 3 into 3 is nothing but 9. So this is what it will show you as output in every line. So this is what's happening. This line is asking the user how many numbers they want to enter. And this line, it creates an empty list to store the user's numbers. And here, the first loop for I in range of 1 comma n plus 1, it will ask the user to input each number one by one. And this numbers dot append, it stores each number in the list. And here we are printing the squares of entered numbers and it will just print a heading for a clarity. And the second loop goes through each number in the list and prints its square using num into num. And that's all. Now Python will calculate and display the square of each number automatically. Okay, let's run. For example, I will give two numbers. One is 2 and the other is 3. So the squares of entered numbers, I got something wrong because while explaining, I think I made some mess. Observe this error. You see, can't multiply sequence by non-int of type string. That means somewhere we didn't convert the input to integer. So here you have to give it int whenever you're getting the input from the user so that it will do mathematical calculations. It is the Python is like, array yaar, you gave me string input and how you can expect me to do multiplication with string. So in order to do multiplication, you have to convert it to integer. So that is what it is expecting from us. So this is why when you do it, when you trace it, when you're getting errors, then only you will understand. You learn a lot just by, going through errors. Don't feel bad when you get errors. So when you get errors, then only you will learn something from there. So in the process of understanding why it is happening, that is where you will get more knowledge of how the program is working. So people who don't get errors are the most dumbest people according to me. The people who make more errors in their lives or even in programming are the people who will learn a lot in the future. Who are spending their time to solve a particular error are the one who will learn better than the one who didn't make any error at all in the first program itself. So don't worry about the errors. Go through it. When you go through it, you will understand. So here I made one error and I don't feel bad because by looking at it, I understood that somewhere I didn't convert the data type of the input. So I figured it out and I solved it. Now I understood. So take each and every error as a lesson and learn from it. Okay, so let's give 2 again, 2 and 3. So 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9. So the squares of entered numbers, 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9. And yeah, that's all. And let's give, for example, 4 numbers. And let's give 3, 5, 7, 9. 3 square 9, 5 square 25, 7 square 49, 9 square 81. Look at that. Python did all the calculations for us in a clean, easy to read format. Amazing, right? You're the one who did it, so you are amazing. And yeah, fantastic. You just learned how to take multiple inputs from a user and you learned how to store them in a list. And also, you know how to use loops to perform calculations on each number and print the results neatly. And here is a fun challenge for you. Try modifying this program to print cubes instead of squares. Comment below if you try it. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a Python lesson. And also remember, coding is all about experimenting, learning, and having fun. Keep practicing and keep growing. See you in the next one.